So this is Lucid charts. It is a diagramming tool for so many things, building flow charts, entity relationship. You can use it to build so many amazing things. So it's a visualization tool that help you show a skeletal work of what you want to do before you start building it. That's what this does. So for us to build this, whenever you find it, whenever you want to start building, mind you, you don't need to know everything here before you start building. Up here, it's the build, like this, you want to increase something, you come here. Let's say I have this image I want to build, and then when I click on it, I bring it here. So I can come here to increase it. What is inside, that is the text. I can come here, and my arrow is showing two double facing arrow. I can increase the size. You can see, I can reduce it. And I can change the color here. So when I want to type in, I will double click and then it will go to an edit mode. And then I can change the color from what it is to green. I can make it bold. I can make it italics. I can even underline it. And so this is just alignment and line heights, line spacing. So I can make it, stay up there. This is alignment. I can make this is right now it's centrally aligned. If I want it to be centrally aligned at the top, I will make it to go up, bottom, side, sides, up, right, up, and then middle, center, middle, left, middle, right. Just whatever you want to do. Be in charge. All right. So now this is the image. I'll click out. So this is the image. If I pick here, it will fill up the stuff. So they fill up the image with red. So you do whatever you can do. Please, I need everybody to be in, please. And think basically these are some of the things that you should be able to use for now for what you want to build. So of course, this image you can rotate it if you want, as you want. So let me delete it. To build an entity relationship or whatever you want to build, you come to search here and start typing it. So let's say I want to build something in AWS. So I can say Redshift. So you can see AWS Redshift. Where is it? So you can see Redshift. Let's say I want Azure. So you can see Azure information, things around Azure. So but what I want to build is really entity relationships. I'll type entity. When I type entity, you will see entity relationship. I will click on it. So when I click on it, it will then I can drag, I can widen or reduce or collapse this. So it will then give me some of the things I need to start building entity relationship. And I've told us what entity means. So now let's start building. So I want a situation where I will have a table. So I want a table that will be, I want a table that like this. So I want 3 columns. I want, like I can give you the primary key, table name, and the integer. So we have not done, and the data type. So we have not done data type. This is something we will do in our later class. So let's move on. So because that's what I want, I will come and click this particular entity, drag it and drop it here. You can also click it and then it will come here. So notice that immediately I dropped it here, this property panel comes up to tell us if I want to increase the number of columns, the number of rows, I will come here, this field arrow, I will increase it as much as I want. If I want to reduce it, I will reduce it. So be careful how you use it. so you don't go and remove what you have typed. If I want to add above this row, I'll add above. If I want to add below it, I'll add below it. So, and if I want to delete, I can delete. Anyone I select, I can delete. And what else is here? That's the entity. You can choose, you can come here and choose another type of entity if you want. And what else do we have here? Okay, so this is fine. Now, if I use my scroll wheel, if I scroll up, it zooms in. If I scroll backward, it zooms out. So I want it this particular size. Notice when I hover over it, you see the cross-like arrow facing each side, that showing that you can drag it. So I'll click and I'll drag it by the side here, anyhow I want. So now I want to start typing. I will double click here. This up here is where you type the table name. So one of the tables there is order item. So I want order item, or name it order items. So in other items, I'm going to just build a view table, then the data analyst will go and complete it and build their own. But the guide I'm going to give you will be enough. All right, so on this other item, the first key is always the primary key. Can you see? And my first key is what? If you can go back to that table, to our documentation, you will see everything there. So it will be order. I can name it like this, order item ID if I want, but I prefer naming it like the snake case. So the snake, that's what we call case here. We have Pascal case, snake case, and Pascal case, snake case, forgetting the other one. All right, so let's move on. So the snake case is just using underscore, having everything small letter, order item, and then use underscore to separate them. So let me widen this. Now, as this table is, if I want to if I want to widen this table, this column, I can move it like this. Can you see? If I want to bring it back, I can move it like this, just by clicking here and dragging it. The same thing with this place. So, but this place is too small, so I'm going to widen here and then bring this inside. So you see how it works. So what will be the data type? We will call this data type int. And what does int mean? Integer. Int means integer. And what does integer mean? Just number. All right, so that's how you're going to actually type it when you're creating your table. This data type, this is called data type. This is the table name. This is a column name. And then this is the primary key because it is a primary key. So what is the next table there? I'm going to mention the next table. The next table we agree is order ID. Order ID. And there is an order table. So we name this, because this order ID will be coming from the order table, so this becomes a foreign key by default. Of course, is an int. So the next table, the next column is item ID. And of course, you know what that means. It's coming from the item table. What kind of key will it be? Foreign key. Exactly. It will be a foreign key and it will be int. So that's how we used to represent stuff like that. So the next we have is quantity for this table. And quantity is just the entry. There is no primary, is not foreign key. And this quantity is also int. All right, so for the purpose of the fact that it's money we're talking about, and since it is money, money can come in, can have a decimal place. So let's name it float. So float means decimal at some point, but there's also decimal integer too. So the next one is total. So total. I'll remove this. And total, I will name it float. For now, let's keep this like this. Okay, I have another ID here called staff. All right, so I'm going to add, like I did earlier, I'll add above. So I will have all those things above. All right, can I move you up? Okay, so I want to move this up. Good. So see how I dragged it, clicked on it, held it, and dragged it up. So I want to name this staff ID, and you know what staff ID is. Because it's coming from the staff table, we'll call it a foreign key, and is an int. And that is the end of this particular table. So what happens, let's create another. We're done with this table. So you can go and format it however you want. You can come here and say, I want the table name to be bold. And I like to give it my favorite color. That's my favorite color. That's not my favorite color. Why are you taking another thing? No. So I can't get my favorite color here. So I'll give it my main color, which is orange. And I want to create a new table, and I'll call it, so I can click here and duplicate it. So right click, duplicate, and I will drag it to this place. You can do whatever you want to do here. It's so amazing. It's an amazing tool. So I will name this staff table. And of course, the key will be, since it's a staff table, the staff ID is the owner of this table. So I want to move it. Good. Staff ID is the owner of this table. And since it's the owner of this table, it is a primary key. Do we agree? So this table does not have another foreign key. So we remove this. It's a staff table. So of course you know what to be in staff table. So this will be like staff name. Call it name. There's nothing here. And since it is name, it's going to be what we call varchar. Varchar means variable character. Variable character is the data type that is used to allow to build application that will allow you type in anything you want to type. You know, like when you do on your chat, on your Facebook or WhatsApp, all those places, the space where the input where you type in all those things, any kind of thing is called varchar, variable character, any kind of thing, just type it. All right, so let's move on. Position of the staff position. And that is also okay, we name it int? No, that should be a varchar. And then what kind of contract? Full-time, part-time, So that should be a varchar. All right, now let's do the magic. So how do we communicate? On what column will they communicate, guys? Why is nobody with me on here? Only one person is in here. On what column will they communicate?
On the
Staff
primary
ID.
key and the
So we agreed that this table here, this column here, will come from here and move here. See? Let me do it again. Maybe I hope that you can see all those dots. When I click on it, it starts coming out. So from the primary key, that's where you start clicking. Then you come. Where is it? Staff ID. You leave it here. And that's it. And what kind of stuff do I want here? I want this. Where is it? This one. So here I can come here and choose what the endpoint to be and the start point to be. And I'm going to explain what it means. So this is called relationship. I have been able to create a relationship between staff table and other item table. What it means is Fola can come and order today, can come and order tomorrow, can come and order next tomorrow. Or Fola is a staff here, can come and do and execute some orders So Fola's name will appear here multiple times if he does it for several, because he worked for that day. So his name will appear here several times, executing an order for a client. So what really happens here is, let's say Fola executed 50 orders. 50 orders having Fola's ID will show on this table. So it means there are so many Fola ID in this table, but there is only one Fola ID on this table. This type of relationship where a particular column has only one entry, unique entry, that maps to multiple entry in another table is called one. Can you see this one? To many. This triangular kind of stuff you're seeing here is called many. And what does this line across it mean? It means minimum of one, and then it can be so many. But it has to be one here. That's why you're seeing this line. One to many. That's what this means. And it has to be minimum of one, at least. It must map to at least one item. So for Fola's name to appear here, it means Fola has executed an order. Does that make sense?
yes.
So this relationship is called one-to-many relationship. And I'm going to stop here for the day. Any question?
And
All right. So
so,
that's
oh, sorry.
no. I was going to ask that document that we have that the restaurant document that some of them says one to many, some says one to one. So
Yeah,
based on what we have there is what we use to draw the
exactly.
relationship
What
table.
you have there, that's what we use to draw this. And if we have any correction to
Okay.
make, we will come and make it.
Okay. So are we going to be drawing this differently? For instance, um
Yes. And only data analysts will draw. The QAs don't draw. So this is admin. I'm going to name it admin. This is mine. So when you come, you create your own here.
where you name it?
Can you see?
Admin.
Just
Okay.
like in Excel. Can you see at the bottom here? So this one can
Yeah.
be Paula, or let me name it our newest person. Valentine. So this will be for Valentine. And Valentine could say, Valentine, what's your favorite color?
My own Valentine.
Yeah, the data.
Okay.
Okay. Cockroach brown.
Voila, you started. What's your favorite?
Fola, that's why Kingsley say you're 60 years.
What is your favorite color, Valentine? Valentine, you
Okay.
need to talk.
Okay. Blue.
What did I do you now?
Blue. So I'll give you blue. Good. So that shows your color here. I thought I'll be able to fill the. Yeah, so that's your color there for Valentine. Wait, is Valentine I said what's your color? I hope that's what he was one that gave me this color. So every other
I'm the
person,
one.
data professionals, come and create your own there. And anywhere you create your own, that's where you put your information. So now I don't think I like this grid. So I want to remove this grid. Let me right click and see if I can remove it. Grid. No, I can't remove it from here. I don't think I like the grid line. I want it to be plain. View, grid line.
Grid.
Where is it?
Up, a little, the next two,
Yeah,
yes.
good. So I don't want to show grid. Then we have this. It's cleaner now.
Beautiful.
Cleaner now. So you can drag it to anywhere you want to drag it. You can make it
So,
small.
so does it mean that on this one sheet, we will draw all the ARD?
Yes, this on this sheet you draw it. When you're done drawing it, you can then
We'll
you're
be
going to
keeping
do
them
your
side by side.
you're going to do your presentation next week. So you can export it as an image. Export, where are you?
Down.
Good.
The last
Export
one.
it. So I want to export it. So there's another program called Visio, Microsoft Visio, which where you can also do it based on Microsoft Visio, but we are not using Visio. So I want to export it as PNG. I prefer PNG anyway. So if you want to preserve the transparency, you click here. So I'll prefer PNG. I'll export it to PNG. And I want to just want to export it. So what it's sharing is the link.
Can it not be saved to the computer?
Okay, so it's downloadable. Okay. So PNG, then download. So you can see it, download. So download is completed. So you can see it here. When I open it, there it is. So you can use it for your during your presentation to build your slide. So here it is. All right. Who is challenged?
All of